Hey there. Hello. How is everybody doing? Welcome to Thick Thigh Thursday. I am super excited to be here. Happy Thick Thigh Thursday. We're starting off today. We're talking about the beginner yoga program that I put together. Today's Thick Thigh Thursday will serve as an info session. And I think the first question is, okay, so would you rather go to a program that makes sense for you, where you've got a teacher that sees you and understands your body and would like to help you find your path into yoga? Or would you rather spend your money on a yoga studio membership that you're never going to use because you don't feel confident going into that space? Which one makes sense? Hey. So, welcome to the live. Thank you for being here. Always, I am Seisha. I am Thick Thigh Yoga. Welcome. Thank you for the likes. Thank you. Hey, Jimmy. Thank you for being here. If you were you can check out Jimmy's page. We had a podcast episode back in February. So, thank you. And you can check out what we said there. That was based on wellness for realtors. Hey, how are you? Let me know where you're checking in from. And please put your oop, sorry, put your location. Where are you watching from? Please share and like the live. Those things are free. If you were a person that had any questions about the um beginner yoga program that I developed. Hey, Taylor from Texas. Hey, Tay from Texas. We got Tay. We have Jimmy from New Jersey on. We got South Florida in the house. Hey, girl. Um, and I know I gotta get back down there so we can do some beach yoga. Um, hey, also, if you are, like I was saying, if you have ever had any interest in beginner yoga program or starting yoga, and that's why you're here, that's why you follow me, I've developed a program that it really makes a lot of sense for you to be involved in. So I wanted to run today as kind of like a info session for that beginner yoga program. It is called Embracing the Mat, right? So again, thank you for being here. I wanted to leave space for your questions. I had a handful of questions come from my stories. If you follow me on Instagram, please always make sure that you check in on my stories on Wednesdays, right? Because on Thursday, Thick Thigh Thursday, right, we go live and we talk about what the questions that were asked there and the conversation that was had. Hey. Yes. So I would love for you to always participate. You can always ask your questions. You can always let me know what you're thinking. And then that's part of the beauty of this beginner yoga program as well, that this literally comes from questions that you guys ask me and requests and things like that. I hear all the time, I want to start yoga, but I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I need beginner, like before begin. Yes. This is what we're doing. This is what we're having. This is what I'm creating. This is why this is such a great program for um thank you for the gifts. Thank you. Right. This is why this is such a great program for people that are looking to start yoga. Um, I do have my podcast with my podcast partner, Danielle. Hello, well with Danielle. She's amazing. She focuses on Kundalini for the most part, and I mostly teach a Vinyasa slash Hatha style. Kim, thank you so much for the gifts as well. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate you. Liera, thank you so much. Thank you. Right. And again, thank you for the likes. Thank you for the shares. Those things are free. That gets my message out. And that's the way you can help me if you are not a person that is ready to share gifts or anything like that. Thank you. But I do appreciate the gifts regardless. I do appreciate you being here. I appreciate you participating in the conversation. That's what happens every Thursday. We come here, we chat, we talk about things. Thank you. Thank you for so much love. I appreciate you so much. Okay, so I wanted to ask a question. Well, no, that's not true. I'm sorry. I was asked a question. That's what I I was asked the question, is this program for beginners only? So, yes and no. It is not just for beginners. If you are a person that cuz I have a lot of people that come to me saying, "Okay, well, I used to be active. I used to do yoga 20 years ago. I used to dance. I was in dance classes. I was in dance classes too. I did dance growing up here in the 90s. There were plenty of those types of classes and programs and things like that available. I did that all the time. The point I am making here is that, you know what, whether you have before or you have not participated in classes like this, or you are just really looking to and you feel like, oh, I'm so green, like I'm super new with this, I don't know what to do, it is a good fit for you. If you feel like, oh, well, I'm coming to this with injuries, okay, great, this is still a good fit for you. That's the point of this program. People that, if you felt like there was a program already that existed for you that felt right, sounded right, you would have joined it by now. You would have done it. You would have learned it. It would have happened, right? People, I've had the objection of like, well, it costs as much as like 2 months at a yoga studio. Okay, go join the yoga studio. Do 2 months of classes. No, you don't feel comfortable with that? You feel like maybe you don't know what you're doing yet? This is exactly why. This is exactly why you start here. You get that live 6 week training, you get the feedback, you get the support, you ideally get the results because you participated. Hey, hi, how's everybody doing? Thank you for being here. Right? You get that support. That's the purpose of doing a beginner yoga program that's really meant for you. So right, like I said, I keep hearing over and over again, I've heard it for years now, right? I want to start yoga. I want to try yoga. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I get overwhelmed or uncomfortable in yoga studios, right? I I understand that feeling. I promise you, no matter what, when I go to a yoga studio, I stand out. It doesn't matter. But, I'm also trained. I'm also a literally I have a certificate in this, right? Like I'm trained. I am a teacher. So, when I go through it, I'm not questioning myself, even if other people are questioning me. Even if the people around are like, well, what is she doing here? I know what I'm doing here. Mind your business. Mind your mat, you know? Same, you have the same experience, right? When you go to a yoga studio, it's like you clearly stand out. I might stand out like a sore thumb, and that's okay. You're gonna notice me no matter what. I'm also gorgeous, like whatever. Like, look at me if you want to. But I am going to do the yoga. Why? Because I'm educated on what that looks like. And I'm a teacher, right? So one thing that maybe you know, maybe you don't know, if you've been around long enough, I am I my master's degree is in special education. I was a special ed teacher for 9 years. Access is really important to me. Allowing people to find ways to access new spaces, access their bodies, their a different level of health and wellness, a different level of mental and spiritual clarity, all of those things are super important to me. And I have the skills of how do we apply this to different situations. I'm good at that. This is part of the reason why this program was developed. This is why the conversations that I have are so meaningful when I talk to people. I have had so many just single one time sessions with people who are trained, who do have practices, right? They know what to do. They hear instructions all the time. They go to teachers, they go to classes. And then they came to me and said, okay, but I just don't know how to do it in my body. And we fixed that in a day. We did that because we're working from a space of knowledge. We're working from a space of, I know how this works in a body like mine. I know how this works in a bigger body. I know how this works in a body that may have an injury, that may be sensitive in this way, that may not be represented all the time. That's where my entire brand came from. So if you've been around, maybe you know that, maybe you're getting a refresher. Either way, I want, when anybody comes to me to be a client of mine, to join a program of mine, to do one on ones, whatever it may be, I want people to fully feel like, yes, Seisha heard me. Seisha knows how to teach my body. She paid attention to what I wanted, and I got results there. I have made those things happen over and over again, and I'm not afraid to try it again, to start again. I wanted to create this program because I wanted there to be access. I wanted it to be possible for people to say, you know what, I want to do this kind of program. I want to receive this kind of teaching from someone whose voice makes sense to me. Right? We start off on the floor. And if you're like, well, I can't get up and down off floor, start off on your bed. Start off somewhere large, flat, comfortable, right? I want to make it that accessible. There is not an extensive list of things to buy. just very simple basics to start, and then a lot of options as far as support and substitutions and things like that. I wanted to be able to create a space that feels, again, very accessible, very reasonable. And do I actually feel like if you took the free lessons that I have on YouTube and really applied them and practiced them over and over again, could you make growth? 100%. I don't waste my time. I don't put things up that I feel like aren't going to be helpful. I don't do that. That is foolish as far as I'm concerned, right? So, yeah, you could learn a whole lot from what it is that I have for free. But if you were going to do that, when? That's my question to you. When is that going to happen, right? Or you could say, you know what? Here's some accountability. Here's a group. Here's people that are actually trying to learn this as well. I think the benefit of being a part of a program like this, one of the benefits is hearing other people's questions, because maybe you had a question, or maybe you were unsure, or maybe you weren't unsure. Maybe you really, really thought you had it. And then you said, you know what? But that is a good question, because what if my body feels like this on Thursday, but today it didn't? Like today it feels normal, but this feels like that on this day. Or whenever I ride my bike, I know I always have this tightness back here. So I'm thankful that they asked that question. You get to hear other people's thought processes. You get to be a part of it. That's part of the reason why I love this, right? When people ask me questions, I may not think of all these questions. I may not think of the things that you have to say. Like, even the question of, is this for beginners only? In my head, I'm like, yeah, but actually, so I had to process it, right? And that's the thing too. That is kind of one of the bigger things to me with yoga, right? If you are trying to learn how to suppress and really, I'll say maybe not suppress, but like understand your ego, right? Be able to like take things with a grain of salt a little bit better, to take your time processing things on purpose. I feel like, yoga gives you that, because it forces you to be present in your body in a way that a lot of us aren't for most of the time. When we are not present in our bodies, when we're not paying attention, when we're not clear, when we're not open with ourselves and feel that connection, we are disconnected. Like, that is it. It is a disconnection. You don't know what your body's going through. You put yourself through stress. You get into a space where it's like, oh, this just, I don't know what to do with myself. I don't feel good. I don't feel strong. I don't feel flexible. I don't feel whatever it is. Insert the thing here, because you're disconnected. So, if we can take the time to learn our bodies better, learn what feels good, create a routine that feels good for us, that that gives you the opportunity to grow your practice deeper, to understand yourself more. And like I want you to, I want to know, like, because I've already had people kind of tapping in, and the question that I have for you is, right, have you ever tried a yoga class that just didn't feel like it was made for you, right? Or you felt judged in that yoga space, in that yoga class? Has that ever happened to you? Yeah, we got a hand over here. Absolutely, right? If you have a minute to share your story quick, I'd love to share. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to know what you're thinking there. And all of these things, all of the information that you share here in the conversation, yeah, um, unique, right? And so I know I've had that experience, and that's the difference here, right? When we come to this online space, one, you're at home, find your comfort, right? Two, you should have your camera on, especially so that I can give you some support. Remember, I'm the big square, right? And I'm recording, so it stays stuck on me as the big square. I can see you and I'm doing this, but everybody else is also doing that, right? Also trying to get that feedback, also trying to learn the poses, learn the way this works. So this is how that works. um like, the concept of, I know, um I know that this may feel weird. It may feel awkward. You may have questions. And then you have the time to ask those questions, right? It's a very small group. That's the intention here. Super small group, so that you get the type of conversation and questions answered and direct feedback that you would get, if you were, similar to what you would get if you were in an in person class, right? But bringing you the access absolutely everywhere. And I also have the option of adding on your own private sessions. So there is the our live classes at 10 a.m. on Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern, right? So that depending on that time for you where you're located. Um, and then midweek, there's support all through WhatsApp and a reminder sent through. I'm trying to look for a better word than homework. At home practice, right? At home practice to help you grow in what we're doing and get that time to like figure it out. What does this look like? Or, when do I feel this? Or just get 15 minutes of movement in because you're trying to develop a new practice for yourself and develop some regularity. All of those things can apply. It really is your goals that we're working on. Everybody that has come into the program, I have had a one-on-one conversation with them. They have shared some things with me about their specific goals, and I want this to be applicable specifically to the people who are paid to be a part of the program. And like I said, if you wanted to add on a private set of sessions to that, I do have the upgrade to the package. So you can, and remember, today's the last day for early bird, right? So you get that extra $50 off if you sign up today for the early bird pricing at my website, thickthighyoga.com/classes. There, you can sign up for your session. You can sign up for the group. You can add on the private sessions. There are payment plans. I'm not asking you to pay this all in a lump sum. And that because, again, access. I believe in access. As a licensed special ed teacher, I taught a lot of different minds, a lot of different people, a lot of differently abled bodies, right? I took that into my yoga practice because I want it to be accessible for us, for you. If you are looking at me saying this, yes, you too. That's what I wanted. That was the purpose. That was literally a major purpose in why I started teaching and sharing what I do online and all those things. Anyway, and how that has grown to be such a big space. I want to tell you guys a story. So, one of the last random, I'll call it random because I just kind of signed up for it. One of the last random yoga classes that I went to said that it was all levels. Hear me well. Said that it was all levels. And the very first pose that the teacher put us in was lizard. Now, if you don't know yoga, that's fine. Lizard is a very long stretch, flexible pose, like one foot all the way up by your shoulder, the other foot all the way at the back of the mat. Like think plank and you took a step forward. So I personally didn't feel like that was an all levels class. That was the very first like real pose. We did a little bit of movement before that, but literally down dog, leg up, step forward to lizard. And every yoga teacher that I've spoken to about this has been like, what? And I'm like, yeah, exactly. What is a good question? Because what? Like, why? How would you set it up like this? Why would you go for that as your first post? I don't know. I'll never know. And as a teacher, I was fine. I made it through the class. I just felt like it was inappropriate. I'll give you guys another example. So I went to a beginner friendly yoga retreat. This is before I was running retreats. And that teacher decided not to, at some point, give verbal cues, right? So it was like, so when you go to a higher level class, especially if you're talking about higher level, as in like the hoity-toity yoga studios, the $300 a month membership, 300 plus, maybe it's 5 now, I don't know. um the like I said, the fancy people, if you go to those yoga classes, right, you'll get a lot of like quieter instruction where they may be given once. You may be given the name of a pose and then be expected to have that knowledge. But if you go to a regular all levels class, an accessible class, anything that has trauma informed, anything that has different levels of access available to it, you should receive very detailed instructions, mainly regarding alignment, right? You should really receive those instructions. That should be clear information. Um, and if you're not seeing that, if you're not receiving that, and you feel uncomfortable in class, that makes sense. You don't know what to do, right? That's exactly the point here. That is exactly my point when I say that the program that I'm running is meant for people that are completely beginners, that they do not really know what to do. They don't know um, where to start. They don't know how to move their bodies in this way, right? And I mean, it's a fairly short program, right? If you haven't, thank you. Thank you, my Mal. Sorry. And thank you for the gifts. I appreciate you. Um, right? If you feel like I just haven't found my rhythm in yoga, that's okay. A lot of people haven't, right? So I'm going to give you an overview of what this program looks like. It is a 6-week series. It starts Saturday, June 7th, 10 a.m. Eastern, and then, whatever other times across the country or the globe. If you want to join me at 3 o'clock in the morning from across the other side of the world, come. Okay. But set your alarm because what am I supposed to do? Right. Oops, sorry, y'all. If you're a little shaky on TikTok, I kicked it. My bad. Right. So it's a 6-week series, the weekly live classes. The replays will be available after the classes. So if you feel like I'm not going to be able to, I'm going to have to miss this one, maybe it's the 14th, Saturday the 14th, we have an obligation for this and the other. Okay, fine. You'll be able to see that class later that night, if not the very next morning, and be right in step with everybody else. Right. So if you feel like I'm going to miss one, that's okay. You will be fine. There is support between the sessions. We're on WhatsApp. There will be a WhatsApp group. We can chat. We can answer your questions. There is going to be a set of weekly assignments to happen when we are not live. So taking that time um, to take your practice, to learn what your practice looks like, you'll get the midweek reminders from me. I will add things like calendar dates and supports that people have already expressed that they could use in this space. I love to be able to support people in the ways that make sense for them. I hate wasting my time, which is why this is such an express program, right? So the 6-week program here is focused on accessibility, body awareness, and your confidence on the mat. It will allow you to be more confident in what you are doing and your movements on the mat. That is genuinely the purpose here. So there's no pressure to look any kind of way. There's no pressure to have like a super strong base of knowledge after, right? And hey, so absolute beginner, a friend sent you. Well, that's a good friend, right? Because we're talking about where this is the info session for the beginner program now, right? So, as I was saying, right, there's no pressure for you to look like anything. This is about how you can find a way to feel grounded, feel capable in the yoga space. If you have not seen a program that felt like it was for you yet, a class, a teacher that felt like it was for you yet, this is it. This is the program, right? It changes the concept of everything. We are working on alignment. We are understanding our bodies better. We are starting on the floor. We are starting on the bed, whatever it may be, where you're saying like, I need to start at zero, beginner, right? People are always like, I think I need the beginner. This is the beginner, right? And you have the option to add on those private sessions if you feel like, okay, I think that that's good, but I need a little bit more support, right? So, like I said, if you can't make it live to all the sessions, the replays will be available for access just for the attendees right after or very soon after, right? I'm a person. I'm but a person. If I need to cut something or do things, they need upload time. You know what I mean? Y'all got to give me real life person grace. But other than that, it will be available very quickly. And that's kind of the purpose, right? Um, all you need to do to participate is to participate. You just need to show up at the time that makes sense for you. I have one client that is already in the program. She's come on retreats with me. She is fairly well trained to a degree, but she learned a different style of yoga. And she said, I really want to learn yours. I want to go through this. And she signed up for the private sessions because she knows what a private session is like with me in person. And she knows that that has value, right? This is a person that is not coming from zero, that still feels like this is a valuable program. I have several other people who are starting from zero. This is brand new. I've never tried it before. I want to give it a shot. I don't know what to do. And you're in the right place. That is the purpose here. I want people to be able to come to this program. And at the end of the program, the overall goal is you could make it through a yoga class. Does that mean you're going to look like the teacher when they do it? No, because why would you look like the teacher? Go to a yoga teacher certification program. That's not what we're talking about here. We are talking about, thank you for the gifts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are talking about developing a yoga program, a yoga flow, right? For you, a sense of understanding for you, for yourself to really get it. What am I doing on the mat? How am I moving my body? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What should it feel like? How can I gain more access into myself so that I feel good when I am on the mat, when I do go to classes? When you go to somebody else's class, they may not speak the way I speak. That's absolutely fine. They can, though, take can take your knowledge from our program together and say, okay, well, Stacia told me that I could put my knee pad down if I have to do this. So let me put my knee pad down. Oh, Stacia told me this is when I put my blocks on either side of my foot. So I remember I'm going to grab my blocks and put them there, even if that teacher didn't tell you that as a modification, as an option, because you have the knowledge and the confidence to make those decisions based on what you already know. That practice has to happen before you can get to that space. You know who's giving you that practice? Me. Um, right. So some people spoke about like not wanting not being sure about the live sessions, right? Some people want live classes, some people want replays. Here's the benefit: you get both, right? You get the chance to do the class, and even if you didn't miss the class, you were there live Saturday at 10, maybe that's your practice on Wednesday when you take your midweek practice and you just rewatch the video, practice it on your own so that you come back the next weekend to us in our group, that our super supportive group, feeling more confident in what you heard last week and what's coming up, right? There is, and it is steady growth the whole time. Where do we sign up? At thickthighyoga.com/classes. The link is in my bio right here. If you can get up here, you can get online. You can get into the program. It is also my very first pinned post on Instagram. If you are looking for that, my link is up there. If you go into the link in my bio, that is available for you there. It should be right in my links. It's pretty much at the top. This is just different. It's not all levels yoga that forgets about beginners, right? You don't have to already be flexible. You don't have to be in a certain kind of shape. You do have to be able to move. I don't suggest if you're coming straight from the doctor that you need a lot of help. Yeah, we should probably straight start one-on-ones. That's also a different space. But if you are coming from a place of like, yeah, I maybe you've started trying to go to the gym, or you've already been walking around your block. You're feeling tightness because you ride a bike, but you've never tried yoga, or you tried yoga so long ago and you want to try it with different instruction. This is the time. This is the place for it, right? I teach with modifications. I teach with breath support and like actual care for your actual body. Like I was saying earlier, I meet with every single person that signs up in order to make sure that we're on the same page when we go into this, and that your goals that you have in your head are clear to me, are clear to us, so that we can work that into what is needed for this program. That's the benefit of signing up for this live version of the program. Also, this is the last chance to work with me before I leave for Brazil. I leave for Brazil in July. The program starts the beginning of June. We will be going from the top of June to the middle of July, and then I'm out. Right. So if you were saying, "Oh, I need to get into Stacia's next program," this is the next program. I'll see you there. I also, something that you need to know is that like once you get into my programs, once you participate in the things, you get access to like the best discounts on things. The very first information. I shared this with my retreat attendees first and my previous clients first. If they wanted to be in, they could be in. They, depending on the situation, like for my retreats, returners to my retreats get the best discounts. They hear about it first and they get an extra discount for getting in with that early bird and in that time frame, but they still get a further discount. I love my people. When you become one of my clients, one of my students, one of whatever, you become one of my people. I love my people. I give my people the best that I can, because I feel like you poured into me, you supported my business. I want to support you in your goals and your personal experience. I want that. I believe in that for us. And if this is the kind of situation where you've tried yoga before and felt embarrassed, right? You felt weird, you felt uncomfortable, you felt underrepresented, you felt unseen, whatever it may be. You've tried yoga before and this is different. Every cue in this program is meant to be clear, it's meant to be a non-judgmental, adaptable, right? We move with care for our bodies, and we're not competing, we're not trying to be better than, there's nobody next to you on the mat, it's me on the screen and you in your house. Right, we're trying to figure it out. Colleen, my friend April from Dallas loves your retreats. Yes, April is an amazing client of mine. She's been to multiple retreats, she's been back multiple years. We got to do an awesome private session in front of the clock tower in Columbia because we were already there. This was the space we had available, like we just did it. And when you participate in the retreats, when you come and you experience it, you have that opportunity. Now, I know some people would be like, oh, I wouldn't want to have that kind of attention. We were literally in the middle of this a podium type of situation in front of the clock tower, and it was beautiful. It was an amazing memory for both of us. um but and that's the kind of opportunity you can have when you feel confident in moving in this space, you feel comfortable, you feel supported with the teacher that you have, you don't feel like anything bad is going to happen, and you feel capable in your body. She was able to learn in that space, and just try new things, become more comfortable with things that we were doing, and get that one-on-one attention. That's the purpose, in my opinion, of adding on those private sessions. The private sessions are really valuable because of that. Angie, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you for the gifts. Thank you for the gifts. If you're watching, please share. Please share the live. Please like the live. Likes are free. Shares are free. If you want to buy a gift, I would appreciate it, but that is obviously totally up to you. Um, right. And so I do have a question, and I'm curious for those of you watching, like, what would yoga need to feel like for you to stick with it? Right? Because that's the thing too. If you feel like I've tried yoga before, I just didn't really add it to my routine. Maybe that's why this is sure. Give me a second. Maybe that's why this is the time for you to try it, right? Like if you tried yoga before and you're like, I'm not sure to do this. I don't feel like it feels good. Like what I help people do all the time is develop routines for themselves, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and half an hour, right? So somebody is asking for the sign up information. So once again, you can go right up here. If you go to my links on my profile, like the links, it's embracing the mat, the program will be one of the first things that pops up. But either way, it is thickthighyoga.com, thickthighyoga.com. See me, it's all pink and whatnot. Um, and it's classes. When you hit classes, that'll be one of the first links there, embracing the mat program. You'll be able to see the information. You can read it through. You can start. And that was something, thank you for asking, because I needed the reminder too. You can lock in your spot with a $49 deposit. You don't have to pay the full thing up front. I work with people on payment programs because I like to create the access, right? So if you're like, okay, I can lock it in with the early bird discount today, right now, on the last day, the 15th, and then still pay that early bird price, just have it broken up into payment. Yes, you can. That is an opportunity that you have. And that includes the bigger package of private sessions or the regular group sessions that still come with all the weekly support, right? This is an opportunity for you to take this the way you want to take it. But if you're like, seriously, like, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do, this is where you start. This is what you do. um so part of the reason, so I do other things. I do coaching for wellness businesses, for confidence, for personal wellness, for yoga, obviously, right? Like, so there's a lot of things that I do here, and the questions sometimes are like, well, why didn't you just become a therapist? Therapists aren't allowed to tell you what to do. They give you a lot of support in a lot of ways. They help you unravel things in a lot of ways and different things, and they're not allowed to directly tell you what to do. I have no problem directly telling you what to do. And sometimes people are like, well, like I maybe this and maybe that. We ain't maybe in this. Put your foot here. Lift your chest. Open. Like, I'm ready. I'm ready, y'all. This is just how I operate. This was also why I was a decent teacher, right? The questions that people had, sometimes you need to pull it out of people because that's a real thing. And then other times, do this, practice it. Come back to me next week with your questions. And because sometimes that's just how it works. Your brain needs to process it, your body needs to really feel it, develop it, come back to it, do it again. That's just how this works. That's how learning works. You need to experience it, you need to go through it, it needs to happen more than once for you to truly get it. If you do something one time and just get it, you had a natural set of information on that, whether it's your body was like happen to be pretty good at it, your brain function, it's very similar to something else that you've done, right? Because if you're like, oh, well, I've done all this Pilates, but I've never done yoga, it'll probably be like super easy for you to pick up yoga because you have that Pilates experience. It was the opposite experience for me. I hadn't done Pilates. I've only done Pilates a few times as far as like actual full classes. But I was already a certified yoga teacher by the time I had gone to my first Pilates class. I didn't have a hard time. I thought it was pretty fun. I understood the instructions that I was getting. It made sense to me because I was going from a base of knowledge. When you're starting with no base of knowledge, when you don't know, when you're unsure, it feels harder. It is a lot more for your brain to wrap around. So, this is the purpose of one, having a program that has due dates, has times, accountability, has a system for you to stick to. It comes with my tracker as well, which also comes with my Library subscription. If you join my online library of classes, you would get the online tracker. You can download it, you can print it, you can write on it. Gives you that reflection time. But we're also going to talk about that, and not a lot. This, I will say, is not a highly, heavily emotional program. We will have conversation. You want to share things? If it makes sense, great. Share things, participate. We'd love to hear your stories. We'd love to be able to support you through the things that you're going through. Thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right. So as we talk about these things and we're learning our bodies and we're learning the ways to move, we get to really feel it. We get to process. We get to take the tools with us. And the smallness, the size of the group is super supportive in the fact that I can and I will be able to give support here, support here, support here. There are only 15 spots total. 6 of them are gone, and the program starts June 7th, right? So that's the first Saturday in June. If you were a person that said, oh, you know what, this is not about getting your summer body ready, but yoga can help you get into shape and into the flexibility, into the level of strength to do those higher intensity types of workouts if you were looking for that, right? But if this is more of a no, I want to get my mindset together for the summer. Like my kids are going to be off from school. It's going to be crazy. Like I need some support getting into that. Or, my family's going to be visiting, whatever it is. I need something to get me into a program and I can say, all right, I can be consistent with this and know better. I have an outlet. I've had people have conversations with me about, oh, well, I have this, I'm grieving this process. And I even had one of the applicants for my last retreat say to me, Seisha, I've watched you be so resilient and recover from so many things. And a big part of that is the yoga. It is the fact that I'm able to find ways to process things in my body. I'm not stressed about it. I'm not holding on to anger because I know I have an outlet, and I have an outlet that feels good, that creates safety, that feels safe for me, right? That I feel confident in doing. And I feel so much lighter and more open and calmer after I have done it. If you know the benefits, you know how it feels, you know what to do, you will do it more. You don't do it now because you're unsure. You don't do it now because you don't know what to do. I want to help you find and create that space, right? So is this question? Is this worth it if you've never done yoga? Yeah, so I think you just popped in, but that's cool. Yes, beginner, beginner, beginner. Absolutely beginner friendly. Those beginner friendly classes that start off crazy, no. The things that you see me do that are kind of crazy, I get it. You might be like, Stacia's going to make us do a split in the first 5 minutes. That's crazy. No one is doing that. And my one of my favorite sets of feedback that I just got from one of my clients is, so when you come on the retreats, you get a year of my library for free, just so you can, to help you maintain your practice, right? And one of the pieces of feedback that someone who attended Bali and then came to Colombia, we were having conversations. She said, I always try to just jump and do stuff, and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't get into this pose. And then when I do the hour-long sessions, because yes, this is a program that will train you enough to be able to at least modify and adapt an hour-long session so you can make it through a class, right? Once I actually follow through with your online sessions, the full hour of the class, we start off with a good warm up and we work our way through. I can always get into the pose or a version of the pose, right? I, for a lack of of anybody else being able to toot my own horn here, I have to do so. I'm a pretty good teacher. You might not like me as a person. That's up to you. You might not want to spend time around me, but I can teach. And that's one thing that I really do appreciate, that I can create that space for people whose bodies look like ours, that are curvier, that are bigger, that are not what the standard set of a body that you see under hashtag yoga is going to look like. If you have felt like any of those classes that have been presented to you, any programs, any trainings, any sessions, or whatever, any videos, like, how was I supposed to do this? It wasn't meant for you. That video was not meant for you. That body was not giving you the example that you needed at the time. This is the point. Right? And some of us prefer a little bit more privacy, some of us prefer a little bit more group energy. The accountability and having dates and having expectations really helps if you're like, I have a hard time, or I'm not going to do it. Because again, if you were going to learn it for free on YouTube, why haven't you? So this is giving you the opportunity to participate in it in a way that in a group setting that is very low stakes, right? You don't know any of the people here necessarily, but to have this open kind of access and say, okay, you know what, I really didn't get it when Sasha said it before, let me play it back. That gives you that private time to run it back on your own and learn from that space, right? And yes, we will have a group chat. So if you want to ask your questions live, ask your questions. That makes sense. Um, yes, spots are filling, and the replays will be available. The payment plans will be available, right? The idea that you are able to tailor this to your own needs as far as an experience, as well as me tailoring it to your needs, because I'm meeting with everybody that's joining the program in order to ask the questions, what it is that you're looking for, and all that, to make sure that all those bases are covered. There is no yoga studio that you're going to go to in person that's going to give you that kind of support unless you do a private set of sessions with them. Usually you don't get that kind of support from me unless you unless you book a package of private sessions with me. I am offering both in this. I'm offering a very tailored course to the people that sign up. Because there is such a limited amount, I am able to do that very well, limited and tailor it to the people that are signing up for this online program, for the beginner embracing the mat program. And those attendees who have decided to add on that private set of sessions are going to get, in the week, going to get that individual support working through whatever their desires are as far as goal poses and things like that. Whether it's just, maybe it's meditation, maybe you want to just, how can I shut my brain up for a couple minutes? Then we do that as our private part, right? In private sessions, so that we have that, and the live weekly yoga movement asana classes, so that you can support your movement by calming down your thoughts, right? The idea that you get what you need out of this is highly important to me, because again, I hate to waste time. Ange, okay, I haven't participated in yoga classes in years, and I need to relieve stress and stretch my body. And that's perfect, right? So one thing that I said earlier that I'll reiterate now: if You have tried yoga before, it's been years, maybe it's dance, right? You used to do dance classes. You did yoga in college because it was one of the gym electives that was available at a good time on your schedule. Whatever it may be, right? If you have tried yoga before, if you haven't tried yoga before, it's still a really valuable program for you to participate in, because then you have the opportunity to say, okay, I'm going to receive such specific and supportive training and teaching that now I know what to do when I leave this class. I know what to do when I attend a class in person. Um, you may already be a member of a gym, right? If they have classes, I always tell people, like, take advantage of those classes. Like, it's super important, it's valuable, you get your money's worth. But you may feel uncomfortable because now you've got this group setting and it's like, well, I don't know what to do. I feel like all eyes are on me. I feel like I have to compete with the person next to me. I feel like I don't look anything like the teacher when they do it. I am in my head all the time, or I can't focus. It's loud. We hear the weights clanging on the floor. Whatever your reason may be to have a question about it or to not feel comfortable in that space, this applies to you privately. You get to have the private space in your home. And that is another thing that I know people have told me, like, but my house is crazy. Like, I can't do that. If you allow yourself, and force everybody else as well, if you allow yourself to create that time and space where, no, this is when I focus on yoga. We do yoga here. I put my mat here. This is the space that I have. This is what I am going to focus on for this hour, for this 45 minutes, for however long it may be. That is more valuable. Developing that space within your home, developing that space in a place that you can access all the time, is far more valuable than leaving your practice at the yoga studio. Far more valuable than saying, like, oh, well, yeah, I go to yoga once a week, and then you drive around stressed and cuss people out for the rest of the week. If you can find a space at home, you are allowed to use it at home and use it whenever and wherever you actually want to. Apply it as needed, versus like, oh, yeah, well, I can't wait till I go to yoga because then this is going to happen. You can bring it to yourself. You can have yoga when you want. You can make that happen. You're unsure of how to do that, and this is the program that will teach you. That's what I have to say about that. Any more questions? I am looking through. I don't see. Hey, how's everybody doing? Hi. I see. I'm looking at questions here. Um, no? Okay. Yes. Pricing. Last thing makes sense. So, beginner yoga program, it is the price on it is $299 for the full 6-week program with support. The early bird pricing is $249. That $49 comes off that. Thank you, TJ. The you can start you can sign up and lock in that early bird price for just the $49 down. You can do that tonight. You can follow the link up in my bio. It is in my links. Embracing the mat. Start the program now, right? Sign up for the program now. And what happens then is we book when you sign up and you put your deposit down, or you pay it in full if that's where you are comfortably. Pay for it. Sign up for a 15-minute call with me. We chat. We have a conversation about what it is that you're genuinely looking for out of this program, because I want it to make sense. I want it to be applicable to all the people who genuinely sign up and pay their money and want to be there on purpose, right? From there, we roll forward. You'll get the supply list. The only need is a yoga mat. Other than that, I do give you a link to props and a video explaining how the props work. So starting immediately with the support that I can provide to you, right? From there, when we start the program, you're going to get your tracker. You are going to get weekly sessions. You're going to get weekly at-home practice sessions. I don't know what else to call it. I'm trying so hard not to call it homework. You get that weekly support. You get the WhatsApp live group support. We get to chat. We have each other, right? And then from there, at the you have the opportunity to add on private sessions if you want to get that private session package. Again, early bird pricing, that's $599. That goes up to $649 tomorrow. Okay, so you got paid today. Today's the day. Put down your $49 deposit, and then we'll talk about it. right? If you feel like you're not sure, still put down your $49 deposit, lock it in, and then we'll have a conversation, and then we'll set your invoice to the right price. There is no problem there. But if you miss it, the price goes up tomorrow. Okay. Questions? Any other questions? Um, do you have to be on camera? I did answer this before, but so yes, essentially yes, but not 100% of the time, right? If you feel like when we are flowing through our yoga sessions, remember I'm the big square and I'm recording, so that's important for me. But when you when you are learning, I want to be able to see you, I want to be able to give you that feedback of what's happening, what's going on, where I feel like you can go a little deeper, what alignment cues may give you a little bit more support because I can from seeing you. If I can't see you, I can't do that. And you can only receive the general information or whatever cues that I give to somebody else to adjust them. If that is the support you want, then that is the support that you choose to receive at the time. Especially if you're like, honestly, I want the private sessions and I don't want my camera on during the group. Okay, fine. Don't put your camera on during the group. When we have our private sessions, I mean, it only makes sense, right? Why be here privately and not actually let me see what you got going on? But either way, right? You have that option for your camera. And then if at the end and we're reflecting and we're talking, you feel like you're sweaty, fine, turn your camera off. Be present. That's important. But don't there's no pressure here, there's no need to look a certain way in any way, shape, or form. Put on some clothes that you could do some yoga in, that you can move around in, that feel comfortable for you. This is not about who looks cute or does not. I mean, you find the love of your life in my program, that's amazing. I tell everybody, okay. um but other than that, like, just come and participate in the yoga. That's the point, right? Thank you again for the gifts. I appreciate you. Yes, yes, yes. Any other questions? I don't see any here. Hey Tara. Thank you for being here. I have so far I've had 3 people that are signed up for the program pop in already. So at least, right? And just remember, early bird ends tonight. Tomorrow the price goes up. So if you were looking to be a part of it, I would grab your spot tonight with a deposit, right? If you know anybody that is looking to really try a beginner yoga program that is going to be right for them, that's going to be different from things that they've seen before, this is the program. You should try it out. You should check it out. You should look into it more. Those of you who are already here and signed up, thank you for being here. Thank you for popping in. And I mean, this may be the opportunity where you say tonight, okay, you know what? Let me watch Seisha's 30-minute beginner yoga class. Let me try that out tonight. See if the way she teaches makes sense for me. Great. Listen to it. Try it out. Watch it. Right? Thank you for the gifts. Thank you so much. I appreciate you sending me those gifts. But yeah, if you wanted to try that free YouTube video, try it out. Give it a shot. Check it. See if it makes sense to you. See if the way I speak gives you some reassurance about the way I teach yoga and the kind of access I could help you find. Take that time to give it a shot. And if you're saying to yourself, you know what, I really do want to do this, I don't know what I'm waiting for, I just have questions, put your deposit down and try it. Put your deposit down, lock in the that early bird pricing for yourself. Take the steps. And then, you know what, if we have our session, we have our conversation, and you say this isn't for me, you can get that deposit back. We don't have to do it. But if you put the deposit down, you want to do it, right? If you want to learn more about yoga, you want to do it. If you feel like, oh, I don't know what to do when I get on the mat, but I know I want to do yoga, this is the program. That's just where we are. That's how this works. I explained it before, and I'll just say it again as we wrap up here. I was a teacher. I was a special ed teacher for 9 years. I've been teaching yoga now for 7 years. Um, I and some of those overlap. But I know access. I know how to create access for people that do not feel supported in regular situations. Thank you so much, Laura, for the gifts. I appreciate you. I know how to do that for people and I want to. I have that desire. I have that drive. I have created this space and I've created multiple spaces in different places in the world where we get to be supported in ways that we may not have ever felt before. And I just want to keep doing that. And I want to be able to do that in this space as well. As of right now, the people that have signed up, I've had conversations with them. They are getting a very tailored experience to themselves for what they want to receive here, what they want to get out of the beginner yoga program. Anybody that signs up will also receive that same conversation so that I know what is actually being provided is what it will help them reach their desired income if they desired outcome, excuse me, if they actually stick to it, right? If they participate openly, they participate mind, body, spirit, just I'm going to try these things. If you do them, the work will happen, the progress will happen. And everybody's progress is at different rates. I can't tell you what exactly is going to happen when, but I will say if you participate in everything the way you are supposed to, according to what is assigned and according to the expectations, you will feel confident in attending a full hour-long class, um, at least with modifications that you know how to make at that point comfortably. And that is not something that you can say right now. So, if that's something you're interested in, you want to be able to participate in that way, join the class, join the program. It'll be worth it. I am Seisha. I am Thick Thigh Yoga. I am Thick Thigh Yoga absolutely everywhere. If you were interested in seeing, like I said, my free YouTube videos, check out the YouTube videos. It's guess what? YouTube.com/Thick Thigh Yoga. I have not hidden it. When I got the names, I got all the names. I'm on Twitter, on Threads, on Instagram, on TikTok. It's me. Okay. It should look like this. There are no numbers. There are no numbers. If there's a page with my name and numbers, that's a scam. Forget them, block them, report them, do all the things. It's me. Okay. So if you found me, you have found my sessions. You have found my classes. You have found the confidence conversations that I usually have on Thursdays. It's just this is a special edition because the program, the early bird special, ends today, right? So I wanted to make sure I got the info session out live to you guys. If you have questions, feel free to check out my Instagram or my TikTok. I have posted about it. It is the very first pin post on my Instagram that I feel like would be really good information for you to flip through if you had a couple more questions. But all that information is also available at thickthighyoga.com. Thank you everybody on TikTok for all the gifts. I really do appreciate you. I appreciate you being here every Thursday. It's Thursday, Thick Thigh Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern. I always have something to say and I don't know how to shut up. So I would love for you to be a part of the conversation every single week. If you were interested in finding more of these conversations, whether it's understanding beginning yoga or understanding your body or confidence in certain situations, check out my YouTube page. I have the replays there. Run it up. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you see what's going on because there's a lot to share. Okay. I love you all so greatly. Thank you so much for being here and sharing the space with me for an hour. Y'all just let me talk every week and I'm always shocked. Okay. But I appreciate you for participating in the conversation. I appreciate you being here. Again, if you want to check out more Thick Thigh Yoga, absolutely everywhere. Hey, right? We are headed out of here, but if you missed it, you can check the replay on YouTube right now. And